And welcome, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans here on RPG Limit Break. They've been giving us a lot of love lately, so let's hear it up for them. I am your friendly neighborhood Demon Frog, joined in the booth by Sir Linkalot.
Hey Demon Frog, how are you doing today?
Doing alright. Week 3, Race 1, so we got some flags to go over.
Yep, first race of week 3. Major thing to note for this one is we're looking for some shards. We need to find 28 shards, or in this case, for this seed, I believe I saw wedges, if I'm not mistaken, is what we're actually looking for, is the big thing.
They were wedges this time, shards. They take, so what Shard Hunt does, take some of the common items, mainly heal potions, out of the pool, and puts wedges in them. You also get 2 wedges each for killing Lich and Carry, 4 wedges each for killing Kraken and Tiamat. You get your 28 wedges, you can go in. You don't have to kill all 4 fiends like you do in the normal game. Other things with these flags, we got Blurst Equipment, -5 to +5. Scaling is a little wonky. 30 to 300. Really swingy. This is pretty much the opposite of last week in terms of speed. This is going to be a bit of a slog.
I mean, it could even be fast, because that 30 to 300%, it could end up being a really easy seed, but it could also throw, you know, any one of the fiends could kind of throw a wrench in there if they roll that 300% and you're not prepared for it.
Yeah, you have to dig out those wedges, though. That's the thing.
I'm just looking at, too, before we get started, because it shouldn't actually be too much longer. We do have a little bit of differences on the parties. Got, you know, Life Reboot and Rob Draven running the Fighter Rainbow. Dangwoo and Demon RHK running Fighter Thief White Black. Guessing, you know, the Thieves have that amazing run power early. We're actually off.
Alright, and you know, look at that most important. Heal 3 is a good one. Fire 2, not great block magic, but you do have a sweeper. Heal 3, and that white magic is good. Cloth +5, actually, and +5 cloth for those mages will keep them protected in this early game.
Almost be tempted to just buy it for everybody with how cheap it is too, just in case you don't find anything else. I mean, that's still decent armor at the +5.
Alright, we have our item out of our vendor item out of the way early, Ruby, for about 1,500 in the Corneria shop. That does open up an incentive location. That does let us get the shard as soon as we get the money, immediately. We have free boat, free canal, so we can get over into the Melmond area right now.
Yeah, it's nice to see that vendor item right away, especially when you find it as cheap as that.
It looks like Demon RHK took your advice, did grab that cloth for everybody. Another thing to note with these flags, there are 4 whammy locations. There are 4 more locations than there are items. So we'll see, one of the big stories of a seed can be, did you chase down an incentive that ended up not paying out?
Perhaps not, but those imps with blaze might make this opening sequence a little difficult.
Yeah, early game enemies with bad stuff is bad, but you know that, you know, in the first 15 minutes, you largely leave them alone, and you're out of that area. So just a little bit of, and we do have 50% overworld, 60% dungeon encounter rates. So we should be able to get through this pretty easy. Rob Draven through. Alright, yeah, it's an adamant and a slab. We do have 5% per item. Adamant we can turn in now. Slab we're obviously going to have to wait. Now we do have the Ryakun dock on. All we need to get airborne is the floater. So that adamant could turn into the floater. That could be at Bicky, or it could be in Sky. We have seen some Sky floaters. So with early ship and early canal, the world is your oyster, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely, especially with that Ruby as well. Maybe you'll see somebody go and check Sarda as well as Titans. Hit the key items up as quickly as you can, hoping you find that floater, because it makes getting around so much faster and you don't have to deal with random encounters anymore.
Yeah, you definitely want to be able to get airborne, get moving around. Alright, so we got Rob Draven, gonna head over, gonna see if he can't pick up some a little bit better magic here in Provoca. We're checking the... Ooh. Black magic, does it pay out? Nuke! Level 2 nuke, level 2 fast.
Hopefully we don't see many good white magic spells, though, because if we do, that red mage might be in a little bit of trouble here.
Life 2 is good. Okay.
Okay, I mean, a lot of good magic. Thankfully, in this case, it's really, you have nuke, you don't need fade, so really only one good white magic spell. Sadly, you're sharing those charges with nuke and fast.
Well, Life Reboot and Rob Draven have white mages, so that really, Life 2 and Fade, kind of unfortunate they share the same level, but that means your white mage can be doing a lot of damage too. So, GG if you brought a white mage on this particular...
It's kind of one of those interesting things that you have to think about when you're doing something like Shard Hunt, is you might not go into a dungeon with the intention of actually clearing it, so, potentially just bringing that white mage, hopefully having an early exit, or, especially if exit becomes white lock, it's kind of sometimes extremely valuable, and you almost kind of have to bring the white mage for that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can get those 28 shards without going into any particular dungeon, or only going halfway in to get that last one or two, and get out. You don't need to finish clearing that dungeon unless you're looking specifically for gear.
Yeah, what you would hope, having to find 28 shards, you've definitely found the gear you need to finish the seed. But maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah, that's been kind of a story in our TIFD chat, is Fighter's really strong because you're checking so many boxes, but also with the scaling so big, that black belt can be useful if everything rolls down or if you just get the good tile. So there's something to be said about party comp, Fighter versus black belt with this particular setup.
And even adding on top of that, it's one of the flags that I wonder if any of the runners maybe missed when they're going through the flags. The black belt nerf is actually off right now. Their crit rate is normal, so it's 2 times their level, I believe, as well.
Yeah, the thing of it is with these particular flags, experience is tuned pretty low. You have to fight for those levels, whereas with a knight with reasonable armor, steel -2 at Provoca, not great, but it's there. You can probably punch into Topher a little bit lower with a well-equipped knight versus a black belt that you have to commit quite a bit of time to a grind. Oh, lazy dwarves! We haven't had lazy dwarves since 1.44. Walk that TNT right on down.
You were talking about getting in to Sky or Mirage, and there's the chime to do it.
Well, see, now here's the scary thing with these runners. So far, like I said, we have free ship, we have free canal, so we can get anywhere in the northern continent. We already saw Oxyale, so that opens up our sea incentive. We got Chime. We're a cube away from being able to get to that Sky incentive. Level 4.
Yeah, and we have a lot of incentives open right now for them to check for that too.
Yeah, in terms of easy stuff, they have the Ruby. Once they buy it, they have the Circle of Sages. Marsh, at this level, they have the offensive power, clearly, to get through it, but Marsh may also have just as much offensive. And without Exit or Warp, you gotta walk both ways, so that's kind of a gamble of getting into Marsh and getting out.
Yeah, I feel like Marsh is one of those things that's either really nice and you don't have to worry about anything, or it's just terrible and everything will murder you with no hesitation.
Yeah, with Marsh, and it's the same thing with Ice, that's why they're both considered very dangerous. There's a huge variety of monsters. The monsters generally show up in large packs, and all it takes is 1 or 2 of them rolling a sweeper or something nasty to make the entire dungeon miserable.
And we did get a look at level 3 and level 4 spells. We're still not seeing any of kind of the escape spells, so we still have yet to see Warp or Exit. And we've seen 1 through 4 now, so at least Melmond, at bare minimum, before we see any kind of Warp or Exit, who knows, we might have to wait even further.
Did catch Ruse and Heal 2 at level 3. That's a pretty reasonable place to find those spells, if we don't find the defense. Gold +3, there we go. That's great.
We'll definitely be noting those because you will more than likely be coming back for those. And speaking of Ruse, the nice thing about Ruse was it did land in the Night Learnables, so Knight will be able to pick that up after promotion.
Alright, we're going to see what our Sarda has today. He was a whammy.
That feels pretty bad.
Mage Stick in the Titan's Trove. That's not the worst thing. About 6,000 gold. That's one thing I've found with these seeds. I am always scraping by with money in the early game. I can't afford the spells. I can't afford the gear. So finding 6 grand in those chests plus a Mage Stick is pretty good.
Yeah, especially the Mage Stick. You find that early and you just have that extra, you know, basically an unlimited sweeper on something like the Fighter. Helps so much.
Alright, Life Reboot, I like it. He's right there. He's going to dip in to Earth. We got 3 different trap tiles we can check on this very first floor. First one, not too good. We're going to take it, because even at this level, you know, these undead will give him a level or 2.
Well, especially getting the early levels, you know, with Nuke and Fade being at level 2 like they are, you know, it gives you those early levels to get the extra charges if you have to make deep dives, especially, you know, got that early chime. You know, you want the levels to get the health as well as the charges to get kind of in and out.
Opal plus 5 and 12 grand. Alright, we're getting ready up for the... Oh, I missed Martians out of one demon, but Den was about to pick it up. Looks like it might have been the loot.
That's what it looks like. We've seen it. I don't see where else that could have come from.
Level 2 Life 2 is so good. That also means that's going to be... Oh, Thunder Sharks. Oh, no!
And they've got wall just in case. But, oh, and there's a hold. And
Oh, this is... entrance!
So about that airship, I think you really want that airship now.
Yeah, the oceans are going to be just obnoxious with that. And those even show up in sea. Alright, Life Reboot picking up now the Zeus Gauntlet. So now he's got all kinds of free AoE stuff to throw around depending on what the weakness of the monster he's fighting. Then we're going to give it the old college try again. Picks up a jewel. I thought they were wedges, not jewels, but...
I thought I saw wedges too. Maybe that was the seed that they had just to get cropped potentially, because I could have sworn I saw wedges.
Alright, Life Reboot was just doing a little cheeky earth dive, trying to see if he found a good tile to kind of get your... to get off and running. And there is one of our new Fun % flags, Multi-Instrumental Sarah. We have, I don't even... huge amount of items. We saw Pro Rings minus something at Melman.
I thought I saw -4. Could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I saw -4. Which, granted, you know, you're not really buying the Pro Rings for defense, but...
There's our level 5 warp, level 5 quad X. That's a pretty reasonable place for that to land. Wall level 5, alright.
Still no exit, though.
Warp at 5 should do enough work. It may not get you out of a dungeon, but it can get you close enough. And it's good enough for Ice Cave to cut out a second loop and to get a couple of freebies in ordeals.
Yep, definitely. Once they get the levels, we're gonna need a few levels before we can use it still, but...
Yeah, that's kind of always been with these flags that I've seen so far is just finding that first tile or that, you know, if you have a quick encounter off of power, so just finding something to get you started, to get you into the mid-teens where you feel comfortable taking a shot at ice or taking a shot at ordeals.
So I kind of feel bad for what happened to Rob, because one of 2 things happened with Rob. I didn't catch it. All I saw was Shark use Thunder, which we knew about, but one of 2 things happened. Either the shark ambushed him and immediately started with thunder, or it got turn order and just decimated the party.
Alright, gonna take a look here in a minute on Life Reboot side to see what the Sages has. This is our last chance at that easy floater.
Alright, let's see. Level 6 magic. I saw Cure 4. I believe that was the only good white magic spell, and then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, on the black magic side, that's where things got really bad. Both Flocks and Temper are all level 6.
Oh, that's unfortunate because at 300% we absolutely can see evasion capped fiends and Temple of Fiends Revisited. Those locks might be invaluable. And we got the rod. So now we have, okay, what do? We don't have ice on the table yet. We need a canoe. So we either have earth or sea.
I would say Earth would be the better play, just because you can, I mean, granted, okay, Lich could roll extremely high on his stats, but you can't always be thinking that the Fiends are going to be rolling high on the stats. You have, especially if you've got 3 mages right now, you have plenty of casts of Nuke and Fade to where you should be able to also kill Lich when you go down there.
And you do have the option of walking it out, if depending on what you see and how you feel. I think it'd be really risky going after Lich with the hit points they have. But they do have the opportunity. There is one or two, I think it's 2 additional trap tiles beneath the rod block they could potentially hit up. If they could somehow conserve the nuke charges but get some experience, they don't really have the firepower though. I don't know. But yeah, Earth is probably the play, but I think the safe play would be to end up walking it out. And then if you want to do sea, I mean, it's going to be dangerous. If you could get there, the mermaids have no encounters, but right now it's 50-50. We'll have to see where it's either going to have to be a canoe, floater, or key, or worst case scenario, cube.
Yeah, or something leading to it. Could see something like Crystal or something like that still.
Yeah, it could be a turn in that leads to one of those, but we need something we need progression. So it's got something that leads to a canoe or a floater.
Yep.
Yeah, a worst case scenario would be a cube, because then it's like, all right, well, we have to go to sky. We have to go pretty high in the sky. And then we got to either walk all the way out or make a cheeky play at Tiamat. Question chat, Roger Vision. Yes, Warp was at level 5. We are nowhere near having the level 5 charges yet, though, to get that off the ground.
Yeah, not whatsoever yet.
Alright, Life Reboot. I thought Life Reboot was already at March, but I'm assuming not. He will get his required loot, but that is not what he's going to want to see.
We'll see if Life Reboot ends up taking a wipe to that shark. Hopefully not, but that shark looks like it likes to start with thunder, so it almost feels like you kind of need that turn order. And chances are you're going to see a shark, you're going to just try running, rather than, doing a nuke or a fade just to try to kill it to get out of the way so it doesn't kill you instead, because you're not thinking about the fact that shark has thunder.
It is a little bit counterintuitive. Alright, yeah, we got everybody kind of covering the ground that the others covered, and gonna come to the same realization that it's Earth or Sea. Rod Draven finding the lazy door. That's pretty good. Because that's adamant into TNT into a key item. That's a good amount of experience because we do have 5% per key item.
Yeah, that nice little boost. It only would have been better if that last lazy dwarf would have given you the key, because then you can check that dwarf armory, which usually is going to end up having, hopefully, one of the items we're looking for. But no key yet. Probably be coming back to look later.
Yep, a lot of chests. The key opens up that dwarven armory. Good chance at finding a jewel, a wedge, a shard, whatever you want, whatever it happens to be that particular time. Also opens up 3 different trap tiles that are really easy to get to. Northwest Castle and Temple of Fiends Revisited both have key lock trap tiles that we haven't seen anything good yet. And that's something you want to kind of keep your eyeball on. Either something middle tier to get you off the ground, or more something a little more beefy that maybe you can come back to when you get those initial levels, so that you can go into Temple of Fiends. Upper 20s, lower 30s is roughly what it seems like it takes to tackle Topher with these flags.
Yeah, it really depends how risky you want to be with that first dive, with the range of the stats and HP being 30 to 300%.
Yeah, it can be so swingy. I've had fiends drop to a single nuke, and you have fiends that just won't die. Alright, Deng was making our first Earth dive. Gonna have to go defeat the vampire and check the chest behind him, and we'll see if that's what we need to get moving. Something has... Oh, cockatrices have glands. No! That may... Oh, and poison! Oh, stone poison and glands. Oh, no!
So in case the glances don't get you, don't worry. We've got you covered.
And Tango says, nope, not doing it.
Which I don't necessarily blame him. He did wipe out of there, and he doesn't have the rod. Now, if he would have the rod, I'd see more potentially trying to go in, but no rod. Yeah, you've got other things to check right now.
And kind of something I was talking about earlier, I've always found in these flags, money early is a problem. That means softs usually aren't priority until the middle of the game, because they usually roll 500-800 for a single potion. I'm not carrying around softs this early, and when you have glands and stone poison, it's not surprising he didn't have the softs. I mean, he got all 4 stone in one fight, but even if he got out, I don't think he has the softs to make it happen.
Yeah, I don't believe so either, unless maybe, he found 1 or 2, which I'm not sure. We're not really on the lookout for softs from treasure chests, because we're not worried about petrification until, something like that happens.
And we'll see what Denwu decides to do. He's gonna go see what the older gentlemen have at Crescent Lake. Alright, Demon RHK making his Earth dive, and we'll see if he catches the same encounter, and if he does, if he has the same luck Denwu does. It seems like they were pretty skill happy. Man, yeah, that is really unfortunate. Lock 2 and Temper all at 6. That feels real bad, because not only 6 you really have to think about rationing, but now you have to make the choice each fight between accuracy and power.
Hopefully they end up finding it, but it almost feels like, something like the power bonk is almost going to be required, because, like you said, you're going to have to ration your charges off, and we're looking, not saying somebody's going to end up rolling like this, but Chaos could roll up to 6,000 health. You're not, and if he rolls max evasion, it's like you're going to need to do the locks at the very least, let alone, you have to get the damage somewhere.
Yeah, with the scaling the way it is, you can have, you could have one real meaty, beefy fiend that is just the absolute gatekeeper. It could even be Kraken or Tiamat. It doesn't have to be Chaos. That can be the thing you got to get past. Alright, Life Reboot catches these cockatrices. I think he evaded that glance and got out. I don't know, he doesn't see how bad they are.
Yeah, I don't know if he saw it at all, but I don't see any petrified members, so there's a good thing there.
Oh, and not even tracking this time, but Danny's got us. Bonk was in Matoya, so all 4 people should have that bonk.
I just saw Life Reboot has only had 1 pure potion, now has 0 pure potions. These undead, they've got some poison touch, so we've got a couple members that are just going to be taking damage every single round that they step.
Yep, 1 damage per step and 2 damage per round if they're in battle. Pure potions is usually something I try to afford pretty early. Just grab 10 for this exact position. Now he's got 3 poison people. Does get out, but now he's going to have a lot of resources spent into keeping those people alive. Alright, Demon RHK pulls Vampire. So he made it. And we'll see. Survey says it's the crown. Okay, so we're not sure yet.
At least you get that 5% bonus for right now, but I'm sure you're probably going to be making your way to the kindly king of Northwest Castle before too late.
Yeah, the lovely, wonderful king. Give him his crown. Maybe he has a magic rock that'll levitate things. Hopefully, that's what these guys are hoping for.
Yeah, and he's clearly not going to betray you or anything.
No. Lovely person. Alright, Rob Draven getting the bad news that the walk to Sarda was for naught. You got more out of the Titan's Trove than you did out of Sarda. Alright, Life Reboot also making it through this. Oh, and he's going for it. I like it. I love the gumption. He's got the rod, he's got nukes and fades for days, he's got life too.
Yeah, it's really that idea, like, you know, if you want to, you know, play like everything has 300% health, you wouldn't make this decision, but it's just like, it is Lich. He does also have the chance of rolling very low on his stats where you could throw a single nuke and he's dead. I mean, it could be the opposite and he's got 1200 health, but...
Alright, Katana. Wait, so for him, it'll be some money. For the other runners, if they make it past here, that'll be good for their ninja. And I saw Thor Hammer. Now, the thing though is, you don't need to kill Lich. He's worth 2 shards. So it is a real gamble, considering you probably don't need it. You can get those 2 shards somewhere else later when you have a little more to work with. But it also could save you quite a bit of time if you're too short and you have to go digging. So this is definitely a gamble on Life Reboot's side if he does go ahead and push through and try to take on Lich.
It would be kind of strange to see it not happen just because of the fact you have to walk out right now and your entire party's poisoned. You've thrown so many resources into this already. Can you even actually make it out on your own?
Yeah, the easier way out might be through Lich. You have to really hope he doesn't have anything nasty on the AoE side. And yeah, just hope that you can chew through him with nukes and fades before he can do anything nasty to you. Alright, so Demon RHK made the other choice. He rolled out with that crown.
Well, he
about
has
to see if that's a payout.
According to his tracker, he doesn't have the rod. Only Rob Draven and Life were the ones with the rod.
Okay, that's right. He doesn't have the... Yeah, so he had to. That is the key. That's great. That's a bunch of chests. That's a bunch of traps. And that is Corneria locked is an incentive. So that chain continues, but it is required regardless, even if the Corneria locked does not pay out. Oh, Life Reboot finding a really good item. He has a white mage, found the white shirt, even if he didn't have a white mage. And Viz 2 on everybody with the scaling that we have. is fantastic. Fiends can absolutely roll high enough hits and damage to one-shot anything, anywhere with these scalings. So getting evasion, especially when you get Kraken 2 on, is fantastic.
Yeah, and that's, you know, we haven't seen Invis 2 yet either, so that's even more important because of that.
Yeah, we saw Ruse, but a knight gets 4 charges, and you have really 3 or 4, depending on how much respect you give carry. You have 3 or 4 fiends and plus chaos that really need that evasion, or could potentially need that evasion.
Alright, well, we're going to get that Lich fight. Let's see how scary Lich 1 is.
Oh man, this is everybody's already on a knee. This is alright, throws out his first fade, 248. Alright, free round from Lich. Thank you. Nuke, middle roll, 290. Another nuke from his red mage, 167. Mage stick from his fighter, 120.
Which did roll pretty high. We're sitting at about 700 right now, so almost we're at 200 almost.
And 288 fade takes him out. I love it. Level 7, level 8 Lich kill for life reboot. Doesn't have an orb, but does get 2 shards out of that.
Yeah, you kind of got to give props as well, just because of the fact that that entire party was poisoned from pretty much floor 2, and you know, manage the resources to get all the way down to the very bottom.
And he's going. Did he forget? Oh, I think maybe he forgot to check this one room. So he's gonna dip back in while he's here, see if there's anything worthwhile. Did see mages with, I think it was Scorch. They show up in pretty big packs, so that's no bueno.
Yeah, nothing in that room, just, you know, a bunch of gold.
Alright, so Demon RSK taking that key. I didn't see if he checked the trap tiles in Northwest. I did miss that. I was just watching the Lich fight. Did clear out dwarves. I had a bit of a hard time seeing. I didn't see anything of big note.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't believe that actually did happen. Oh, never mind. So I guess they were checked according to our trackers. One was arachnids, but we missed the second one, so we'll see if somebody goes back and checks that. But apparently not good enough to maybe take some kills.
Yeah, if you find something, even if you find something like worms that normally you think, oh, those things are big, if they roll 30%, one nuke will take them. So if there was something worthwhile and he had the camping equipment, you definitely at least use the charges. Oh no! Worst case scenario confirmed.
Just when you thought you were safe.
Okay, so we're level 9 and we have to go to sea or go to sky. Yay!
I would go to sea first.
I don't want to do it.
I mean, I don't like either one, but sky you have to get out of. Like if you had exit,
Yeah.
I would do sky first if I had exit. But with no exit and just warp, sea is a lot safer at the moment.
Yes, sea is absolutely the play. There's only it's three levels down. The entire mermaid floor is encounterless. You have a reasonable chance of getting in and getting out. Yeah, sky, you just have so much ahead of you to get up to that floor. And once you're up there, you have a big decision to make. Do you keep going or you don't? And level 9, you can't. You absolutely cannot. Even we don't have Brack or Bane to even hang our hat on for an insta-kill here. So
we've got Brack. Brack was level 3, I believe. I'm not sure if Alderweireld picked it up, but I know I saw somebody pick up Brack. But still,
Okay.
that is a fairly large gamble to make. Because chances are you're checking a lot of boxes in the sky, so if you do take a wipe at Tia, that is a lot of time you lose.
Yeah, yeah. If you're in Sky and you have Nuke and Fade, you're using them to get some experience. Yeah, it would be a tremendous time loss.
Okay, so it's not on the tracker, but apparently Dangwu does have the rod, or probably would not be about to pull Lich.
Alright, yeah, he's gonna fire out Zeus Gauntlet, 31 damage. He's gonna go ahead and nuke. We saw Lich had a free first round with Dark, unless he attacks.
Which he did, but 27 damage, nothing to reckon.
Okay, yeah, this is pretty manageable unless there's a spell we didn't see or a nasty skill behind. Oh, Ice 3. Oh no, is Dengwu out of... Out of juice.
I believe he has nuke charges, but I know that white mage is out of fade charges.
Okay, I imagine the Ice Ray had to be a mismenu then, that's fine. Yeah, he has a lot less firepower than Life Reboot does. Luckily, just a swing from Lich for 37, that's perfectly manageable.
As long as we don't see a nasty speller, you know, we get a 308 nuke roll that just destroys.
We go, yep. Air Elementals on the second tile in Northwest. That, depending on how they rolled, could work. Life Reboot did not take the fight. I'm actually kind of surprised. I would maybe throw a nuke into Fade Out and see how they fared. They could roll super beefy. If they rolled down, that'd be pretty ideal.
Yeah, especially with the Rainbow Party, you've got 2 nuke casters and a Fade cast. It's like, even if they roll, you know, not, I wouldn't say beefy, potentially if you could knock them out even just once or twice, you're going to get a good amount of levels and charges. But his group was poisoned as well. That might be one of the reasons we didn't see it too.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now, sure, like I said, we have the offense. We have nukes and phase for days. But we are only we're not even into the double digits levels wise. All it takes is, you know, a Thunder Shark equivalent somewhere in any of these dungeons, and oh, double Sandworm. Oh, this is nice.
This would definitely be a place to grind, depending on how they... Oh, we've got a Stun Touch Sandworms. That did roll pretty high on the HP, at least. Okay, somewhere between 300 and 500.
This is a good tile to get you to, in my opinion, take you to 15, give or take, and that'll give you the comfort that you need to go ahead and make, you know, that sea dive that you're about to make, and pray and hope that that is what you need. Oh, Aegis +5 in that middle chest Northwest Castle. Perfect. As soon as we get, you know, Airborne and Tail and whatnot.
Yeah, and another jewel as well. That's kind of the important part. Is we, you know, opened a decent amount of boxes that we really haven't found many jewels yet.
Yeah, we have quite a bit of exploration left. For incentives, we still have Sea and Sky, which is where we're going. We have to go next. One of the two. Volcano has a ton of boxes, and I believe that's why it was decided to make that not incentivized. Because you have the effort to reward ratio for getting boxes and getting jewels is pretty high in Volcano.
It might also be just because of, I mean, typically you have a canoe by now, but how easy it is to get to Volcano with starting with canal as well as ship. So all you need is the canoe and you have full access to Volcano at that point.
Yeah, but now we have the ever elusive either underwater canoe or airborne canoe. Okay, it could be the floater in either location, to be fair. And the canoe could be elsewhere, but trick is getting there right now. And I think Demon RHK is on the right track to get enough levels to get you in and out of where you need to go. And come out with, you know, maybe even get some warp charges. Life Reboot, I also like remembering, writing down gold bracelets. He's got the money. Gets those in all his mages. That'll also help. Hopefully, all of our runners remember that. Because they're going to need as much absorb as they can get if they're going into these high-level dungeons at relatively low levels.
Yeah, you do not want to lose, especially somebody like your white mage on one of those dives to where you can't pick somebody back up. Because that can spell the end for a run or a dive very quickly.
Yeah. Oh, that katana, 33,000. So on Life Reboot and Rob Raven's side, who do not have a ninja, that is just money in the bank. That is buying some gold bracelets and pro rings, getting us as ready as we can be. Coming from chat, Burt Reynolds says canoe could be in Cardia. The canoe will be at an incentive location. We have more locations than we do items, so we should not have any loose other than the bridge will be a loose quote-unquote key item.
Which we did already find, which was in doors.
Yep.
So.
All right, we got some life reboot, making the only decision you can right now. I also have to say that with how this has kind of landed, it's very linear. Like, you have to feel really good about execution and what you're doing, because there really isn't, you know, much deviation. Everyone's going to clear the northern continent roughly the same way, maybe not the same order, but they're going to do all that stuff first. So level 7 exit, by the way, there. And then everyone's going to go, okay, fine, I guess I'll do C. Like, this is pretty much what everyone is going to do.
Yeah, unless I guess you want to make that cheeky gamble and go to Sky instead of C, which, you know, you could do, and maybe that does pay off, because maybe that's where, you know, floater ends up being, or canoe or something. But, you know, if you find like the canoe, do you really leave C and go check that?
You at least, yeah, I mean, you have waterfall right there. Man, if someone, like, maybe Demon RHK, who's doing this grind, if he wants to be cheeky after this and say, you know what, everyone is gonna check C. I got the levels. I'm doing this. I'm going to Sky instead. I could see maybe being, yeah, doing that little that against the grain play and trying Sky, since he's gonna have the resources to actually make it happen.
Yeah, and it's kind of wonder if that's what Demon RHK is thinking, because he's already 15 and 16, I believe, on the fighter and thief. So, you know, we're at that point where if they get their class change, they're getting spells. So at this point, it's kind of that area where he's going to have to get higher to get those 4 charges.
Yeah, he probably has it in his head, because it seems like upper 20s, lower 30s seems to be Mazmoon was in C, but it was -4. So
it is still a Masamune, though.
Swings and roundabouts. He still has a lot of game.
Bonus guy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be here for a bit. That is the single most useless thing you could have found in that box right now.
It's like, I heard you want a class change. It's like, yes, I certainly do.
I desperately want a class change.
Okay, go find your floater in Sky now. Oh, by the way, exit's level 70, you can't have it, so have fun.
They probably can see the island from Onrak, just beckoning to them. Alright, life reboot, got the bad news. We gotta go to Sky. And if he feels real bad right now. I know, he feels bad.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, because you're going to be thinking about that the whole time. It's like, okay, what if I would have went Sky first now? Or, you know, if anybody does go Sky before C, like...
it's such a gamble with... unless you did what Demon did and got that grind, that's the only tile we've seen that's worth anything. Maybe those airs. I didn't see anyone actually try those airs. But waters have... Oh no! Waters have Brack.
That is the thing. C floor is it's gonna be a dangerous floor when we get to Topher.
Yeah, those come back.
Oh, speaking of waters, look, we see them again.
Oh no, Life Reboot's already been there and just... Oh no!
Oh, they have a lot of... They've got like 500 to 600.
Expert, just to make sure the Brock lands. Oh, he's asleep. Okay, slow 2. I'm okay with slow 2. Just let him go. Come on, let me go, dude.
No, you can't run. You have to use all of your nuke charges and...
Oh, Fire 3 takes them down.
When you cast nuke 3 times on a basic monster, and they're still alive at the end of it, that feels
they're so beefy.
Bad.
They're so beefy, and they love casting Brack.
I don't think I actually did. We see him do a regular attack? I thought I just saw spells and skills.
I don't. I mean, my commentary reach was a little fuzzy. I don't think I saw any swings though. I think it was all skills and spells.
So Demon RHK is fighting some Ankylos, which I'm guessing they're unrunnable. That's why he's fighting. But you see
Alright.
you see where we are.
Demon, I love it. I love it. He said, I got the levels. Everyone else is going to C. I'm not going to C. This is the big brain play Demon needed to make. Alright, Dengwu finding the Tail of Sadness. Ice Armor +4, okay, you know. We'll take any consolation. Oh, wait, hold on. Demon, do that again.
So was that off of a hard reset?
It was one step off of a hard reset.
Wow.
We're off to the races, boys. Let's see how this rolls.
The question is, how chunky is this blue stick?
Alright, yeah, he ate a Fade, a Nuke, and 2 caster items.
That was a high roll on a nuke too. That was a 398, so we're sitting at like 700, so we're looking 800, 900 health on that.
That might be a comeback when I have a good sword option.
Like that Masa that's in C.
Yeah. Oh, okay, no. He was just burning that one encounter. That is some fantastic knowledge to have.
Like, we've got to start finding some jewels at this point. We're running out of boxes. Nice Opal +1 bracelet.
Yeah, Opal +1, that's great to find. As it does look like Demon did not, and that might be a big mistake on his part, did not shop, especially with that grind, all that money, did not grab those gold bracelets. So that Opal +1 he found is even more important. Found, I think, 3 jewels on this first level.
Yep, there were indeed 3 jewels. And I'm wondering, you know, something we'll maybe have to ask Demon, the decision to come to Mirage Sky, was that influenced at all by the fact that, you know, Demon dove Earth with no rod, and then finds the rod immediately after when you go to Crescent, and knowing it's like, I couldn't do this, so if anybody else came here, that potentially they killed Lich, you know, who knows how many jewels are underneath, plus the 2 on Lich?
Yeah, it could be, you know, if, yeah, feels bad, alright, so I have to do something a little off that I don't think anybody else is going to do. We're going to see kind of side by side, Rob Draven also in Sky, he has the information that C is not going to pan out. He does not have the levels that Demon has, so we'll have to see if he can pull this off as well as Demon is going to be able to. Jewel, oh, Vorpal, okay. Ribbon +5. There we go.
That is a nice room. I would almost, I mean, Masamune is Masamune, but Vorpal rolled neutral. Almost like the Vorpal over the Masa.
Yeah, the fact that Masa rolled down so hard, Vorpal looks real good. You have a ribbon on a Life 2 caster now, though. That is the kind of the news of the day. You can, as long as you can get that red mage out of a fight, you can get everybody upright and keep moving. Alright, let's see this trap. Oh, okay.
Okay, that's a good trap.
And we have a Thor Hammer, we have a Zeus Gauntlet, we have Nuke, we have Fade. They open with an Ice too.
They're not too chunky either.
Yeah, as long as you can survive that Ice 2 opener, it looks like a round and change for... Oh man, this is... Okay. I like it. Demon says, I'm sitting here for a little bit.
Or maybe not.
Dengwu also got the news of the blue stake off of the reset. Does take his white mage down and opts not to. Alright, Life Reboot says, I'm already here, and we're doing this.
This is gonna be a thing. We'll see, because Kraken one is no joke still, especially at the levels and with the stat distribution.
Kraken could easily roll Punch Happy Kraken and easily able to one-shot everyone in his party. He could roll like a puppy dog. We'll have to see. It's definitely it's the same gamble he already made though with Lich of I'm already here and I'm not leaving.
I guess something you could do with equipment, you have the Masa. Your white mage should have ruse. You could basically go white samurai strats. Just from the start, not even worry about anything else. Completely protect the white mage, and do locks from your black mage if you have any charges there. You got a power bonk, and just go to town.
Yeah, with bonk, Mazza, and ruse. Yep, and Life Reboot finding another ribbon, room south of Sharknado. So we got 2 ribbons that are pretty much in line with where these runners are going to go. They're going to still be checking boxes if they're on these floors. Question from chat Rojovision. Sky's going pretty good. We had a blue stake off of a hard power reset immediately outside and an iron gall trap tile on the cube floor.
And we found a good amount of our
Yeah, we got jewels, we got a Vorpal, we got a ribbon so far, and that was all just in Mirage. That wasn't even in Sky yet. Oh, I think I saw OK Man have Blizzard. That's a real bad thing to have Blizzard. Show up in big packs if they get turn order or ambush. That is you're done.
Sadly, yeah. Metal slimes on 2 screens.
And the ever elusive iron goals on Dengwu. Dengwu has the. I can't remember if Dengwu. Yeah, Dengwu already has the Tail of Sadness. Yes, so he does have the Mazza that can maybe put some work in on the iron goals while he's at it. He's just going on. It's a real question when you find that tile where it is. What do you do with it? Because you need to conserve, resources to get up and get out, or get up and get through, whichever you're deciding to do. Do you take as much as you can and walk out? What do you do? That's a really awkward place to find that trap tile.
Especially since you haven't promoted yet, because it's like you kind of have like we said, upper 20s, lower 30s. If you want to try to make that play into Topher lower, it's like you kind of get to that 15, 16 range. It's like I don't want to level anymore until I promote, or I'm not going to have all my charges on my Knight and Thief.
All right, Life Reboot with the gamble. Kraken. Bodies his knight. Gonna try for the Brack. Doesn't land. Brack with his black mage. Doesn't land. Wall on the dead fighter. That feels bad. Gonna try to invisible up the black mage. Blaze. Oh no! Black mage survives. Throws another Brack. Broken into pieces. Gamble pays off.
I was gonna say that spell was a lot more useful to Life Reboot than a punch where somebody's gonna die.
I also do want to note, I saw in Rob Ravens right before, he picks up the crystal, so we don't know yet what it's gonna be. Rob Draven pulled up in Sky is the Bane Sword. That makes me think a lot harder about, do I do Tiamat or not? Because now I have Ruses and Masmoons and Bane Swords, oh my.
Yeah, now it's a lot more interesting. throw that Bane sword on somebody with a ribbon and maybe just try to bait him up, because you know eventually Bane's going to kill Tia. It's just how many rounds is it going to take?
Oh, I may have seen on Demon's side again. Everything's a little blurry. I think I just saw him pick up the defense sword, which is even better. If you have defense sword, white shirt, I'm pretty. Oh, there's another ribbon in Sky. 2 ribbons in Sky.
That's all 3 of our ribbons accounted for then.
And the extra nice thing with those ribbons is normally they're very, there's no absorb. It's that they add resist for everything. You resist everything with a ribbon. Rolling +5, you actually get a reasonable amount of defense out of it. They got Opal +1. They got the golds rolled up. And there's been quite a few jewels also here so far, I've noticed, in Sky.
Yeah, there really have been. Life Reboot having taken down Kraken and getting the jewels out of there. If he ends up taking Tia out while he's here as well, he's going to be pretty close to that 28, because I think I see him. I thought I saw that first row's almost filled out, and I believe we've already found, 6, 7 jewels.
Yeah, we're getting there too. There's another one. Yeah, there's been quite a few in this dungeon. Excalibur -4. Womp, womp. Oh, I think it may have been Power Staff -2. I saw that instead of defense. So it looks like Vorpal might be our thing. Mazza rolled -4. Excal rolled down hard. Ice Sword +4 is not bad. I'm honestly not sure between those two what would be better.
I'm pretty sure the Masa is still better than the Ice. And if you're taking the Vorpal, you're not taking the Vorpal for its strength. You're taking the Vorpal for its strength. So you're not worried about that part at all.
Alright, Rob Draven finding the OK man with Blizzard. His red mage is down. Looks like his black mage is down. He does get out. He does have that white mage. Plenty of life 2s.
Actually, that was the last life 2, sadly. So
Oh,
one more life 2, but that's also your nuke charge on that red mage.
Looks like he is walking it out. He does not feel okay continuing on, which I can't argue with. It's a real tough call this low to gamble as much time as he's been here on being just erased on a Tiamat that doesn't want to play nice.
Yeah, definitely. There's no blame whatsoever here. I would be doing the same thing.
Yeah, you got so many jewels, you got all kinds of equipment, so like you're gonna have to recheck this greater than less than as Vorpal and Ribbon. That's a good amount of steps, a good amount of time. There was just gear everywhere, so I totally get saying I'm cutting my losses. I know this is progression. It has to be progression. I'll come back when I'm feeling a bit better about my chances. A demon with that grind, that early grind, and we'll see if this pays off, if he can take out Tiamat one shot. All those jewels he's got, all this gear. Gonna tuck that knight down a little bit. That top slot, 50% chance to be targeted. Second slot, only 25. And we got us a Tiamat 1. I believe that was a Bane Sword.
Oh, Demon RHK doesn't have Brack.
Four hits for 99. Oh no! Tiamat teasing us. He throws a fast out round 1. That makes you real nervous real quick. 4 hits, 4 damage. Oh my. Getting those tempers out, trying to get the evasion stacks on that knight. I think a swing at the knight takes another 225. Not in one-shot range. Oh no! Hi, Dengwu!
Yeah, it's unrunnable for mech as well. So, yeah, this Dengwu might get his progress erased. by the big machine.
All right, fire 2 from Tiamat. Yeah, Demon not using that Bane sword, instead of using the mage stick. I was asking about if he knows that would have been a good shot to try and use that Bane sword. Dangwoo. Oh no, Warmech has fast too.
Oh boy. The thing is, I believe Dangwoo's already gotten, I think this is round 3 maybe? He's already gotten a couple of these stacks of Invis up. Oh, there's Lightning 3, so that's kind of a good thing. But he's getting a chance to get all of his party members that evasion, so at this point, if Warmech even does swing.
Yeah, that white shirt putting in good work. He's out of 4 of 6 stacks he needs to be at evasion cap. So that is good, but the other thing he has to be thinking of is this is eating everything I have. Alright, Blaze comes out. He's using that heal 3 in battle. Feels bad with the time, but keeping him upright. 4 hits for 188, plinking away. Then on Demon's side, saw a fade, a swing, 4 hits, I missed it. I saw it woke up, so Tiamat has some kind of sleep.
Oh, Life Reboot is taking those iron goals, but apparently something bad happened to the White Mage and Black Mage. They are currently eating dirt.
Alright, Dangwoo, 4 hits, 4 damage. Oh, man.
And we still go. And Demons finally gets Tia 1 down as well. That was a long drawn-out fight.
Yeah, that grind saved that run. There's no way, if he didn't have those levels, not using Bracker Bane, that he would have been able to chew through that. So, Demon able to take all those jewels, the ribbons, the vorpals, the crystal that we know leads to progression, and gets through it one shot. Dangwoo keeps everybody alive. Warmech is down, but you're feeling really bad now because you had to throw almost everything you had at that Warmech, and you still have a Tiamat on the field.
Yeah, and I'm gonna wait to say something on Torah Tia as well. So I don't want to do a commentator type thing.
Oh no!
Mud Coals with Blaze. Thankfully, we got all those ribbons, but that didn't really help the thief out too terribly much.
The thief did his job, really. And again, that's a life 2 charge, and that's a fade charge. So he is running low on gas.
Okay, I'll say it. I was hoping we didn't see another Warmech on Dangwoo's side, because that would just made it Tia, we're safe. We don't have to worry about Warmech now.
Okay, so Life Reboot, he made it. I'm pretty certain he made it, and he got the incentive. Instead of checking it in, he's coming. Yeah, he went back. He's gonna sit on this Iron Gall tile, and this is where he's gonna be. He's up into his 20s now. Oh no, he just took it once. Okay, he might be making the. Or did he not make it out?
No, he didn't. I think he just did it to do levels. I think he's thinking the same thing right now. I need to get some more levels for Tia. I'm going to kill Tia while I'm here.
Maybe I could. Okay, maybe he just sat on that tile and didn't go up and into. I thought he went up and got the incentive and then walked it out. But maybe he just did the tile a couple of times and walked that out instead. Yeah, Jake Scheidel making a good point is that we are on a 10-minute delay. You could have commentated, Curse. I mean, that would have been pretty impressive if you went back in time to.
I've done commentary for Link to the Past Randomizer, which has been on delays for a long time. It happens. Trust me, it happens.
All right, Dangwoo pulling Tiamat. He is putting that Bane Sword to use. I didn't see what it was on though. Bane Sword on the White Mage.
That makes sense.
Doesn't land. That's fine. We're getting those white shirt stacks up, throwing out a little bit of damage on the fighter, but all hail our Overlord, the Bane Sword. That is going to be a question I'm going to try to remember to ask Dengwu. If there we go, Bane Sword gets through, poison smoked. If the plan was to go up to the top, no matter what, or if that Bane Sword is what determined that he's going to make it happen.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to ask him, and how he felt about the war mech that appeared in his path. Just saying, I don't think the seed is not being nice to Dengu's Black Mage. Pretty much everything just sees Black Mage as like, no, dirt, you, now.
Alright, so we got Demon RHK, doesn't know what's in C. He's like, alright, I got a crystal turn in. I'm in this northern hemisphere. I may as well come check the ladies and see if it was what I needed, and he found out it wasn't. It was the tail, so Sky was the big brain play.
Yeah, it looked like, you know, both all the runners did go and check C, or after they finished Sky, they did go to C as well.
And there we go, on Denwu's side, only an hour and 3 minutes in, we have our floater coming from the Sky Palace. That feels real bad when that's where your floater comes from.
I don't even know if I would feel bad. I mean, it's, you know, you're an hour and 4 minutes in, but you have to think about, you know, what got you there. Unless you made that gamble, that's really the only people you might feel behind, is the ones that gambled Sky first, and then went and maybe just got the floater right away. But you have to think, it's like, you know what, it took me a while to get to Sky, but I got there and I full cleared it. I took out Tia, you know, took out Warmick, which, you know, it took him some time, but it gave him a lot of levels too.
Yeah, it definitely, yeah, it was a big experience dump. And you do know that, you know, everybody, yeah, is playing the same seed. They all had the same aha moment of C or Sky, and yeah, C definitely was the safer play, but in this universe, it was not the right play. Alright, so at essentially the 1 hour 5 minute mark, Dengwu is in the air. So now we have some cleanup stuff. We can check Cardia, we can turn in that tail.
I gotta feel that tail's gonna be first.
We got the slab real early. Hopefully we remembered, you know, 45 minutes ago when we were playing around Earth to actually talk to Dr. Un and translate it, because we're in that neck of the woods.
And technically, unless you really want to, you could actually skip it, because, you know, what are we, I mean, outside of jewels, we're really not looking for anything, and Dengwu's only missing 10. According to, you know, the notes that I have, he still has Kraken and Carry on the table, so there's 6 of his shards right there. He only needs to find 4 jewels. Only needs to find 4 jewels somewhere. And I know there were some in C, which he hasn't checked, towards Kraken.
Rojo Vision, it's hard to say because we don't know where jewels are. Is it likely we're in go mode and we don't need the canoe for something? Sure. But we don't 100% know. Odds are, yeah, you can do C and Volcano and likely come out with what you need. Yeah, and we could have a canoeless seed.
I mean, it definitely does feel like that. We'll see how Dengwu decides to play it.
Yeah, right now, Volcano feels really good. A lot of chests, plus a relatively easy fiend for two orblets, wedges, shards.
Yeah, we found one of them there, so like I said, technically only 3 away from the actual go mode.
Yep, and then we pretty much know that we have either blue stake off of a hard reset if we feel like climbing into the second level of Mirage, we have that Iron Gall tile. So we know where we're leveling. We don't even really have to mess around looking for trap tiles. We can just blow through and grab the easy chests and keep moving.
I found 3 jewels so far in Cardia. There's 4. Yeah, Dangwoo's technically in go mode. He just has to go kill fiends at this point if that's what he wants to do.
Yep, and that's exactly what he was doing right there, opening up his menu, taking a quick eyeball at how many do I have, how many do I need.
Yeah, I think we're gonna just see him fly around and maybe buy some spells.
Yeah, I'm surprised he flew over Provoca, because we got life 2 for that night in Provoca. That I definitely don't want to forget. I would like to get that right now.
Yeah, you probably... There's a high likelihood you might end up needing that life 2 on your Topher dive. Oh yeah, Cure 4, definitely a little bit more important.
I always say when life or life 2 lands on a night, it makes you stupid, because you start thinking, maybe I can go in with 3 or 4 less levels than I should.
Or in my case, you can just forget your knight has life 2 entirely.
Oh yeah, that's always fun. It's especially good for this because life 2. Oh, there's another jewel. Life 2 is sharing that fade slot, and if you can conserve those white mage slots for fades, that just helps you chew through stuff a lot faster. Alright, a little bit of armory check. Black shirt -4, probably not worth it unless it's for the resistances.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Dangwoo's missing the ribbon out of C, and I might not actually grab it, to be honest, considering where it is. It is a little bit off of the technical path you would take, but I guess we'll see.
He has 2 from Sky, and 2 is usually more than enough. Oh, okay. Metal slime tile here in Volcano. I'm gonna throw some stuff out, see how they rolled.
And you also had a mage staff as well with this. This is probably a decent grind.
Yeah, went down with 2 caster items and then the nuke. It's a little bit easier to get to than the Iron Gold, but probably not as efficient once you're there. So we'll have to see. Life Reboot just sitting there on that Iron Gold. He's at 27, 28. He's getting into a range where he's going to go... He has levels to potentially do this right now.
Whenever you're just thinking, my mages have the spells I need, I'm not even worried about promoting. At this point, give me my levels, I'm going to finish.
Yeah, he has the knowledge that he has the tail. You probably will still use it because you need a sword. Right now, you don't have... Well, you have the ice +4. That would be usable for an endgame sword. But he has it. He has Maza. I saw you have Aegis, so he's definitely gonna promote. He may be saying, you know what, if I overlevel, I'm not gonna need those level charges.
Yeah, that's about the only dangerous part. I mean, you've got a red mage and a white mage that both have life 2, so it's not like, like in the case of Dangwoo or Demon RHK, if they don't get life 2 for that night, if that white mage or the white wizard gets downed, that's it.
Demon having some trouble here on Kraken.
It's not evasion capped.
Down to man mode. Two hits. He's on the poison damage. He does have a ribbon on that night. Poison damage for only about 50 damage, but he is just plinking away at Kraken. Oh, and gets it. All right.
I was like, and we don't know how much health Kraken actually has because the kill we saw so far was a brat kill.
All right, Demon. Little bit of a panic moment down to that lone fighter, but pulls it off. And man, Dangwoo just off to the races. He needs to find 2 jewels in the remaining chests of Volcano, and plus a carry kill, and he will have enough. Gear-wise, he has to feel really good. Level-wise, I'm not sure what level he is. We'll have to see. I think he's low to mid-20s.
That sounds about right.
And that's a little dicey, but it is entirely possible.
Yeah, it really depends on how that Topher ended up rolling.
Oh, he's more on the lower 20s
Yeah,
side.
20.
That's real dicey.
And he knows about these metal slimes. Might just take, when he finishes with carry, and just come back in at that point and get your levels.
Yeah, it's right there. You don't have to travel up to the desert for the blue stake or the walk even deeper in for the iron gall. That's why I do like Life Reboot taking that iron gall grind. It's like, I'm here. I'm not leaving until I have the levels I need so that I can just plow through the rest of this and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, I guess that'll have to be something we ask. You just make that decision. It's like, you know what? I'm not worried about, I'll promote for the equipment, but I'm not worried about spell charges anymore, because if you're not worried about spell charges on the night, outside of equipment, you technically don't need to promote once you find a awesome.
Question and answer from chat. Yes, it is 5% per key item. Extra experience. And, okay, Blue D tile, not terrible, depending on how they rolled.
I saw 374 and it's still standing.
Okay, a little beefy. Oh, they hit hard.
Yep, they're hitting like trucks, because that's a ninja with armor. They roll very beefy.
Alright, Life Reboot. Pulling Tiamat. He's got the Braxrats going. He's got White Shirt going. So 2 Brax and a White Shirt and an Invis. And first round hits the Brack. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Oh yeah, Life Reboot's up to in the high 20s at this point.
Yeah, Life Reboot is levels-wise good enough to actually make a good run at it. Dengwu, I'd be really uneasy about making this run at Topher in the low 20s. Does pull carry. This should be academic. Oh, carry fighting back though, does have Blizzard.
Those ribbons getting their value.
One hit KOs the White Mage. Good thing this is... Oh, okay. Quad X's it down. But that is Dengwu's worst nightmare in Topher, is the Fiend deciding to backline that one White Mage with life.
About to fix that and get life 2 on the night, I believe.
Yeah, he still has some levels he probably needs. So, if he can get a couple of levels, he'll get a couple of charges of life. That'll resolve that. Alright, Life Reboot, picking up his floater. He is last on stream in the air, but he has some levels that others don't, so he does have a bit of an advantage in that regard.
I thought I saw Life Reboot at 23.
Yep, and we know there's a couple in Volcano. Dengwu did not find any in Volcano. The actual chest. He just got the ones, or from where I noticed, he did not pick any extra up.
I think he found a couple, because he needed 6 entering Volcano, so if he's only 2 away, he had to pick up at least 2. Was probably hoping to find 4, so you could just skip, trying to find it elsewhere.
Yeah, when I noticed he needed 4, and we knew he was going to 2 off a carry. He's checking all these easy ones now. He checked those Elflin locked chests, nothing doing. Which is a good check, because yeah, he's here picking up brews, picking up some spells for his ninja and his knight. May as well. For all the difficulty that this seed gave, slab turn in was nothing. We didn't need to do ordeals. We didn't need to do waterfall. We didn't need to canoe at all. Didn't need to do ice. So the difficulty was kind of front loaded. You had to do that skydive.
let's hold judgment until we see Topher, because we say the difficulty was front-loaded, but we haven't seen Topher yet.
Well, the difficulty getting into Topher. Alright, he finds his 1 jewel. Alright, Dengwu is 1. Oh, wait, nope. I missed if he's there or if he's 1 shy.
He is 1 shy.
1 shy.
I thought I saw it. I don't think he's checked Temple of Fiends locked yet.
Yep, and that's what he's doing. He's hoping to find his last one right here.
Or maybe just going for sandworms?
I don't think he knows that these are here. I thought Demon was the only one on screen that found these early.
Guess we'll see if he checks the boxes or if he just is fighting.
He went to the north tile, so I have to assume that he's checking the chests.
Okay, yep, he's checking chests.
But he's not going to say no. You know, they're here.
Yeah, they're here, you need experience anyways, you might as well do it.
Yeah, and they go down to two nuke or fade casts.
Sadly, that thing you were hoping for, a jewel, is not here.
Alright, so you gotta think, like, where can I go? I need some easy chests, I need some easy checks. What's he gonna... Oh, man, that feels... I mean, unless you orphaned some chests in Volcano, which you could have orphaned the 2 hairpins. Man, it just feels so bad being 1 down and like this is your best option.
I mean, I guess it was technically closest, because I think, you know, you feel like, okay, I've checked all the lock chests. At this point, I either go to Marsh Lock, which when you have a ice that you haven't even opened yet or touched, or a Sea Shrine where you have everything on the way to Kraken. I mean, you were closest to ice, so...
Yeah, the flight and walk just to get into sea to where you start getting some chests is a bit much.
Well,
with warp, you can get in and out of here pretty quick.
You can't even fly. We still don't have a canoe.
Well, there you go.
Speaking of canoe,
the very evasive canoe coming from Ice Cave. That is very rare.
we were technically in go mode before canoe, so we're still calling it canoe. Let's see, because we can.
Yeah, the canoe's not going to get any use. There it is! Not even going to bother checking that trap tile that's 2 steps away. Dang, it says, I got it, I'm out. Just enough warp charges to get him topside. And we'll see if Dengwu is going to roll the dice with the levels he has. I think he's gonna, because he is doing a little bit of gear management here. And it looks like Dengwu's going to be our first on-stream runner to take a crack here at Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, I guess that, you know, technically don't blame him, because you've got the sandworms as a grind here. So if you go in here, if it's a really easy Topher, you know, you made a really smart play. If you find a fiend that's like, okay, this is a brick wall right now, I need to do something, you have a decent grind right next to you without having to go anywhere.
Yeah, what feels real bad, because, I mean, they don't have... I don't think I've seen the defense sword. Yeah. And that is real good. That's real... makes it feel really safe, even in this kind of situation. And I wonder if that's what Dengwu is just check those 2 validation chests for. If he's hoping to pull the same thing in Sky, where you pull the Bane sword out right before you need it. Yep, and yeah, in chat noting that Demon is also ready to go. He's got all the shards he needs. He has pretty good levels. So he's gonna just do a little bit of gear management, and looks like he is gonna end up getting in the Topher here real soon.
Yeah, does seem that way. But he's definitely got the levels over Dang Wu's, so Dang Wu wipes out. We might not see that on Demon's side.
Oh, Green Medusa's doing something with Stone. Got Deng Wu's top slot ninja. Which, to be fair, is probably good, because that way the experience gets funneled onto the remaining members. I don't. That ninja is nothing more than a bit of a meat shield, I believe, at the moment.
Life Reboot's not done grinding yet, so it's going off the idea that maybe this is going to be a rough Topher. I need some more levels.
Yeah, with the scaling the way it is, yeah, it's so hard to know. You very well could, win enough coin flips that it's easy. There's a good chance something in there is going to be not super easy, though.
Yeah, as you really only need one of those fiends to be nasty. It's not worth thinking. It's like, well, all three of them are going to be bad. Or we get 3 or 4 terrible fiends. It's like it might only take one, especially depending on the group you have, or you get stone touched by all these Gurmedusas. Might do it too.
Yeah, actually, man, the lack of defense, is what would make me think, okay, I need to get this pretty high, because I'm going to be face tanking a lot of damage here. And I got 4 ruse casts on a knight, and a couple of invis and a white shirt, which takes a long time to get spun up and get that evasion up. But Deng Wu, going ahead pulling speed bump number 2, gives us a free round with ink. Alright, Night Swings, 7 hits, about 600 life max for that speed bump 2.
Yeah, so if he was at 600, just barely above vanilla health.
Oh no! Chat noting on Deng Wu's side, he has 2 softs, and we have waters with Brack.
Oh yeah, that's a thing, isn't it?
That is a thing. That could be a real bad thing coming up.
Alright, we've got Carry. Let's see what we have here. That is a dead knight.
Bodied his knight. I think I saw somewhere in the range of 600 damage from 10 hits.
Knight was standing at full HP, then Knight wasn't standing anymore. That's what I saw.
Yeah, it was definitely one hit knockout. 8, yeah, okay. Carry 2 didn't like the way that you played with Carry 1. Alright, yeah, we're going White Knight Samurai strats here. Try and get the White Mage. Oh, Carry says, go ahead, put your ruse up.
Oh, you're gonna evade all my attacks? Fine, here, have a nuke.
Dangler says, nope, nothing doing.
I have found the first wall. It is Carry 2. I'm going back.
Okay. I love it. He's like, fine, I'll pivot into ruse strats. Oh, nuke, fantastic.
If I'm not mistaken, we saw attack, nuke. So
Yeah, yes.
Nuke is that first spell on the script then?
Yeah, and the swing is almost as bad as the nuke, because the swing looks like it's pretty much guaranteed to take somebody out. And he finds those bad men with Blizzard. Just lets it go. You know what? I'll just life 2 the ninja when he dies. Alright, Life Reboot in Volcano, looking for his last handful of shards. And I believe Rob Draven is in Northwest Castle trying the air tile that we saw earlier.
They didn't look that bad, actually. So we do see a carry 1, so this carry's not so scary.
They're playing smart. Carry 1's just lull. Oh no, that's right. Carry 1 has Blizzard. Okay, that's not the biggest cakewalk, but kind of lulling our runners into a false sense of security come carry 2.
Yeah, carry just got to upgrade. You know, my attacks are going to one-shot your entire party. My Blizzard turns into a nuke. No big deal. It's just normal stuff.
Alright. Got Dengwu trying speed bump 2 again. Trying to conserve some spells here. So a swing with the white mage and a fire 3 with the black mage. He looks like he might be readying to go in all guns blazing on carry 2 and see if we can't take her down before she takes him down.
I kind of wonder if you would almost play it like this at that point, where it would literally be, you know what, I'm just going to go all-out attack on round 1 with, like, you know, even with the Knight and Ninja, just go, like, fade, nuke, and just hope carry roll low maybe on the health and just test it.
Yeah, because you don't have... Well, you have Ruse on the Knight. I don't actually know if Dengwu has that many charges. Oh, round 1 nuke takes out the Ninja, but leaves the black mage up with 1 hit point.
It's gonna be like, hey, 1 hit point is enough.
Yeah, the black mage at 1 hit point, the nuke hits the same at full. Yeah, but you don't have the defense sword. You have limited ruse casts. You don't have time to really spin up a defense against this carry, because she does that.
Yeah, you see Demon pause for a second. It's like, what do I do at this point?
Alright, we're down to our white mage. Gets him down! That's all you needed.
Now the interesting part, though, you're using 3 charges of life too. You have 1 left, and you still have Kraken and Tia to get through.
Yeah, feels bad, but alright, so you have one fiend. She didn't seem to have a whole lot of hit points. It was just she hit like a truck.
Yeah, I think that's that idea. If you wipe out of here, that's how you play carry. Is you go all out on spells and just hope you get some decent rolls before carry. Hopefully, doesn't even start with a nuke. You actually probably want to see an attack in this case, so you don't lose multiple party members.
Right. Alright, so Demon makes it through the Brick House carry 2. Oh, Dingwu. Carry taking some lessons from Kraken. I always say Kraken. Oh, back rows both of his mages. Oh, that feels so bad. He's trying the defensive strats.
Let's see what Kraken 2 decides to do. We've got life reboot intel for now as well.
Yep, all 4 on-stream runners in Temple of Fiends. Demon RHK has made it the furthest.
That Kraken looked like it was evasive as well. I thought I saw just a 1 hit, but it was a critical. I think we need some locks.
Yeah, see now it's... Do you take the time to temper? You have lock, you have power bonk. But the longer you sit here, the longer Kraken has to roll through spells and skills. Yep, that was a miss. So we are really dodgy. Ice 2, okay, that's fine.
Like, thankfully, I was like, yeah, thankfully Kraken seems to be using more spells and skills than swinging, because, you know, when Kraken swings, typically somebody's hit before.
Alright, Dengwu was able to make it through carry.
Uh-oh. That is a dead black mage. And we're still missing.
That's okay. We get so far Kraken didn't look too evasive. That black mage went down to a zap. A lightning 2. It looks like Kraken isn't doing a whole lot. So we see that bottom knight just bonking up and going to try and get enough accuracy. 2 hits. I didn't see how much damage, but actually 2 hits.
2 for 634.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're good.
But both were critical, so I think it still has enough evasion where you need to be critting to hit, because that ninja's not getting a single hit off. Which Dangwu's also there, so we're going to see what Kraken does to Dangwu. Yeah, all these misses. Yeah, Kraken's just not punching though, just the spells.
Yeah, and it's really nice spell, so you have the kind of the luxury of time. You have that white shirt that did its job, got everybody evasion capped. Little chip damage, lead 2 here, ice 2 there, that's fine. Just keep using that power bonk, fire 3, okay. That's fine. Yep, still messing with that ninja. Gonna take a swing at it.
There was a swing.
Alright, life reboot on to carry 2. Rob Draven gets through carry 2 the first time.
See if life reboot follows through.
Meanwhile, yeah, Demon and Dengwu just on this kind of a tickle fight with Kraken. And Rob Draven joining in, so we can see if life reboot can crack through this carry 2. Gets a wall and a fast off early.
Oh, I don't know. That Kraken, it looked like it's actually very strong. I saw 12 hits for like 230 on the night.
Yeah, so it looks like Fire 3 is the worst thing that Kraken has in the spell list. And we have Heal 3 on that White Mage, keeping everybody upright until we can get enough power bonks and crits through to chew through this max evade Kraken. So 2 hits for 242 on Dengwu's side. And it looks like Rob Draven might have some, I'll be honest on it, looks like he was trying to just burn nukes and fades to get through this.
I think he has to because the Black Mage went down so quickly. It has no lock, so because of that, it's like you kind of have to do that. But finally, Kraken goes down for, I guess, Dengwu and Demon. Got them both. So next is Tia 2 on Dengwu's side.
Yeah, that they've probably spent almost as much time on that Kraken as the entire time up to Kraken. That was just long and arduous to chew through that Kraken. Meanwhile, yeah. Rob Draven just burns through it. That was the ticket, was committing your resources, your fades and your nukes to get through that Kraken rather than bonks and evades and crits and stuff. Just burn through it.
I was able to get through it, but ended up using a lot of resources as well, and especially considering the spells you used to get through it were the ones that are on your life 2 charges. Kind of got to be careful now on Tia.
Oh yeah, first hit on his knight takes about half his health off. Though you do have, again, you have Masmoon and you have Ruse on your red mage and your white mage. You absolutely can pivot and make this happen with power bonk, fast locks, and just everything you got. You can absolutely make a mage work if you need to. Alright, Tiamat we see on Dengwu with a swirl. Gets a Cure 4 off on his knight, keeps his knight upright.
Big swing on that knight.
And hitting pretty okay on this Tiamat, not too bad.
Okay, not too bad when we get the criticals at least, but...
Alright, we saw a crack, we saw damage poison so far.
See, right now, the scary part is we're seeing so much of the spell list from like Tia and Kraken. We didn't really see a lot from Carry or Lich, but Kraken really didn't have much. And we're not seeing... I mean, Swirl was about the most dangerous thing, and maybe, damage poison. We don't know what Chaos has yet. Chaos could be...
And we saw a good amount off Warmech as well. We didn't see anything overly dangerous on Warmech other than fast. So there could be a lot of nasty stuff on this Chaos. Dengwu's the first to punch through. Just getting his Light Warriors topped off. Looks like he's going to go in, set up as he is.
Did you see what happened to Demon RHK, though?
I did not.
The white mage is down. The black mage is down.
Oh, okay. Well, you're this far. You got to make it happen. Alright, Dengwu gets a fast off, so I'm getting invisible on that knight. You got the white shirt, you got a power bonk.
We've got a nuclear on Chaos.
Alright, getting a wall and a lock 2 out. Just trying to buff up and weather the storm.
Yeah, Life Reboot, we're missing 2 party members on Life Reboot. Both of the black mage, white mage, they're down.
Looks like he's evasion cap, so he should be able to chisel through, hopefully, this Tiamat.
We have 3 Chaos fights. We're going to try to call them, but...
Yeah, alright, Dengwu was first. Let's go here. Fire 3 from Chaos. Chipping away. Fire 3 back from his black mage. Using the Cure 4, keeping that knight upright. Trying to keep the evasion on all of his members up using that white shirt. Alright. Going for the big stuff. Throwing out fades. Power bonk. Demon RHK. The ninja is not looking good. The knight's about half. There's the nuclear. Takes out his ninja. Knight down to 240. We're getting real dangerous here.
Oh, a slow 2 hits.
Oh, no. Yeah, we're going to try to take a swing, but 1 hit, 1 damage with that slow 2 landing and no way to get a fast off on him. That feels real bad. There we go.
Yeah.
I was looking at Demon, but Dengwu is the first on-stream runner to defeat Chaos.
Yeah,
Dengwu comes in at an SRL of 139.56. That is good enough for... We had 10 runners in this race. That puts him at 4th place. Our first place was Davis, DVS, at 124.05. Behind him, Wappy at 125.57. Zenobian at 134.50.
So get the GGs in chat and we'll see. Oh, and followed closely by Rob Draven, who just finished off. Says official SRL time of 140.38, but we saw it on Restream. It was more like a 140.30 at the very least.
Yep, and that's good enough. Coming in right behind Dengwu on stream and in the SRL channel. That's good enough for 5th place for Rob Draven.
Alright, so we got Life Reboot on Chaos.
Alright, yep, Life Reboot. Going ahead. This Chaos didn't look... other than the nuclear, which it is bad, if you can weather that first nuclear, it looks like you have enough time to get your damage dealer power bombed and evaded up and able to chew through this Chaos. Meanwhile, Demon, after getting bounced out, looks like he meant to I'm assuming he meant to go to the air tile here and get a few more levels. Checking here real quick to see if we can't pull any of our finished runners in here for a quick interview.
Was that the first nuclear on Life Reboot, or was there a second nuke?
I was looking at Discord to grab some people that I'm not sure if that was a second or not.
Okay, Chaos has 2 nuclears.
Okay, well, you know what? He made it through 2 nuclears with only 1 party member dead. That's pretty good. I saw 10
3?
Cure Fours, all of the Cure Fours. Oh god.
Okay, maybe that one was the second one.
Alright,
I don't know.
Alright, gets that Cure 4 off on his White Mage just in the nick of time. Heal 3. Need to keep that fighter over 400. Alright. 600 some odd damage with that Vorpal. Life Reboot. Takes Chaos down. And that puts Life Reboot right behind Rob Draven at a 142.44.
Yep, get the GGs in chat for Life Reboot.
And gonna go ahead and pull Rob Draven in. Rob, GG.
GG.
So, kind of take me to the point where you knew, okay, I have two places I can go, and I don't want to go to either of them.
Yeah, I was just kind of following chest density by the time, like, it was just like, okay, yeah, I can't even think. At this point, it was fun scene, but crazy.
Yeah, everyone on stream kind of, in that inner sea time, kind of went different ways, but almost simultaneously came to the conclusion of, I have two places I can go, and unfortunately, I'm level 8 or 9, and it's sea or sky.
Yeah, no, when I got to the point where it was sea or sky, I was just like, you know what, sky. Just, and then at that point, it was just chest density that pushed me.
And also joined in the booth by Life Reboot, GG Life Reboot. Yeah, but we saw, like I said, we saw kind of everybody clear out as much as they could with the lower sea. Also, Life Reboot, I believe you were the first person to really make the gamble of full clearing Earth. Kind of take me through the decision in your head to not just bounce out with that incentive and just keep pushing through. Oh, all right, Life Reboot's having a bit of problem here. We'll see if we can't get him going. Meanwhile, Demon just wants those levels. Got bounced out. Demon got bounced out on Chaos. Went in 2-man, Knight and his Ninja. Chaos was able to take the Ninja down and landed the slow 2 on his Knight. And I'll be curious to see how far Demon takes this air grind. He was already in the mid to upper. He's upper. Okay, mid 20s or so. I just saw 26.
I think at least to get maybe a couple of charges of life 2 on the Knight, because that was the big thing, is the fact that the Knight had no life charges.
Yeah, and it feels real because Demon, I think, made an excellent play early, found that Sandworm tile, took the grind there, and I thought that might be good enough to get him through the rest of it. And it's just unfortunate how he got bounced out on Chaos with that slow 2 landing where and how it did.
I mean, I'm not even sure, like, we saw at least 2 nuclears from Chaos as well. With no defense, I'm not sure how many roots. He would have had no roots charges at that point either. I don't know if he would have been able to kill Chaos before Chaos just downed the Knight and Ninja anyways. I think that was the big thing, is just not having any kind of, support on.
Yeah, he wasn't able to get evasion up. That slow 2 landing. Once that slow 2 landed, that was all she. That's all she wrote.
Sorry, was I on mute?
Oh, there you are.
My fault.
No problem, no problem. So, just kind of give me your thoughts on the seed.
Yeah, I practiced these flags often, and I found that there was a high degree of variance of success between my starting parties. Originally, I really liked Beef Rainbow for these flags, but then I was pulling some seeds in practice where I'd be in go mode in an hour, but then I'd spend another hour leveling up so I could actually beat the Temple of Fiends Revisited. So after just some discussion with my team, I landed on Fighter Rainbow. In this seed, I had some bad luck diving C without exit or warp because I had 3 party members get stoned from a water pack. And I was able to try to nuke my way out of it with my last party member, but Nuke rolled on just 1 water who survived, causing my party to perish even though I had soft potions. So I had to do mermaids twice, and that was frustrating.
Yeah, we did see that the waters had Brack and they liked casting it. They come in big packs. That was unfortunate. Also, we know that C, while the tail was good, of your 2 options you had
Sky was
to do
definitely
C
the
or
better
Sky.
opportunity
Yep.
for letters, levels, and that iron gold tile was just so juicy I couldn't leave it.
Yeah, Sky had Vorpal, it had 2 ribbons, it had a ton of jewels in chests. That's one thing we noticed, it had a ton of jewels. And right outside, I don't know if you noticed, off of a hard reset right outside of Mirage was a blue snake.
The T-Rex.
Yeah. So you had that, you had Iron Gulls. It even kind of served it up for you. A couple of course before Tiamat, it gave you the Bane Sword. So it was just kind of begging to be looted really early, get experience, get gear, give you everything you kind of need to actually get through it in one go.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's too bad. I mean, I did like finding the Massa in Mermaids, and I did find a ribbon in C as well. But it's just too bad that I had to dive C twice.
All right, let's send some good vibes Demon's way. He had a bad go of it on his first Temple of Fiends dive. Again here, Speed Bump 2. We didn't see anything nasty out of Speed Bump 2. I don't know how much of Carry 2 did either you or Life Reboot or Rob Grave, how much did you guys see? Because what we saw, Carry 2 was an absolute cannon.
Yeah, Carry 2 for me fell over. I was kind of surprised because I didn't see anything nasty.
Carry 2 was one-shotting Light Warriors with ease. And I forget I think it might have been you, Life Reboot, that said, you started saying, okay, I'm going to pivot, and start casting Ruse, and that's when Carrie busted out her nuke.
Yeah, she was not messing around, and in these, 30 to 300% flags, you really don't know, how much you're going to have to buff before you start swinging. But, once I think my Black Mage went down, I just started throwing out big nukes and hoping for the best. But it's a little bit of a blur because I just sort of followed my nose throughout the whole seed, trying to collect the key items and the jewels and, get the levels I needed. And I 1-for-1 Topher, so didn't need to worry about that.
That's one thing I was noting earlier. Considering you have Free Boat and Free Canal, that opens up a large amount of the world. This was very linear. Like, you could kind of do a bunch of stuff in the Inner Sea, and that led to some stuff, but it didn't really lead you anywhere. And eventually, everybody got to that same point where, all right, well, we know where we need to go, but we don't wanna. And
yeah, I think
most everybody, I imagine, took C, because you figure it's only 3 levels, lower level monsters, and it's easier to get in and out. So C was the smart play between the two, especially when you're only single-digit levels still.
Yeah, the fact that I didn't get canoe really limited the places I could go with the late floater.
Yeah, canoe ended up. We saw, I believe it was Dingwu and maybe someone else. They needed one additional shard, and they went to ice. And we saw a canoe in ice, of all places. That's not a usual place you find your canoe.
Yeah, I think that was me. I know I died for it because I was on that one last shard before Topher, and I was like,
Okay, yeah, it was you and Dengwu then both made the
Yeah.
same thing of you were one shy. Where do you go? You cleared everything out.
yeah, at that point, yeah, again, standard of this kind of flag set, it's just chest density. So you just go like, it was like a volcano. I told myself if I'm like, okay, if I get them all, I'm going for carry, and then I'm like one short of that. I'm like, I'm going for carry anyway. Let's just go for it.
Yep, you're there. I mean, I think that was the right thing to do. You're that far. All right, Demon onto the Tickle Fight Kraken. Still throwing out those white shirts. Starting the swing. Just keeping those white. That white shirt was real important. Was not having defense in either of your guys' head, because that's something that I always am really keep my eyes open for. Is that defense with these fiends being able to roll, 10 hits, 1,000 damage. Having that defense sword is a really nice insurance policy.
Yeah, did anyone find it? Because I've rolled some seeds in practice, like I was saying, where I couldn't beat Topher without it. And in one of the practice ones I played today, the defense was actually in the validation chest, which allowed me to beat Topher. So that was interesting.
Nobody found it on stream. Dengwu did check the validation chests. There was not many places it could have been hiding. I'm pretty sure we saw all of Marsh other than locked. We didn't see... What did we not see? Waterfall and Ordeals. Both of those we did not see.
We also didn't see like the last half of ice, and we didn't see every chest in ice.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We saw down to that, the Frost Wolf trap top. Right before then, I think, is where both of Life Reboot and Dengwu ended up picking up that last shard and getting out without finishing up those checks. So, not many places left it could be hiding. That's 10, 15 chests at most. Minus, I don't know if anyone orphaned, there's, a chest you orphan in Earth a lot, there's a couple in Volcano, but yeah, it was hiding pretty good.
I guess it also could have been one of the junk items as well, or dead locations.
Yeah, it could have been on the robot or in the incentive in Ordeals. I don't know if anyone checked the fine either.
Not on stream, at least.
Yeah, not on stream. I don't think anyone did. I think by the time we got airborne, we had everything we needed. We had the loot, we had the key, and I think everybody at that point knew. All right, all I need are shards. I need shards, levels, and gear.
All right. Chase, second go through. Tia's down. We've got all 4 light warriors up this time.
Yeah, much better situation here. He'll have invisibles and white shirts and everything you could ask for coming out on this attempt. Alright, a little bit of maintenance here, topping everybody off, making sure gear is in the right slots. And we'll pull this double or triple nuclear chaos? We're not sure.
I think he was only double because I know he had 2 in a row, but I didn't see a third.
Alright, we do have, so let's pull it up. He had Lit 2, Fire 3, Slow 2, Fire 2, Lit 2, Nuke, Ice 3, Zap, Nuclear, Nuclear, Ink, Nuclear. Wow. He had
Wow,
nuke and
that's-
3 nuclears.
He's a scary chaos if he would have had time.
I'm just glad he didn't have a Cure 4 in there. Man.
Alright, getting our locks, getting our white shirts, getting our power bonks, just getting set up. I believe Demon does know he's going to have to weather at least one. I think he got through one of the nuclears. So he knows at least that's coming. He does have heal 3. 2 of them. So he can, as long as he keeps everybody topped off, weather that storm. Gets the fast. He has the fast off. He's getting the locks up. Alright, there's that first nuclear. Takes out the black mage, that's okay. We already got the fast and a couple of locks off. And we got backup fast on that ninja also. Alright, decides to heal 3, wants to top everybody up. There's the second nuclear, takes out the white mage. But the knight is online. 8 hits, 4 hits. Slow 2 hits the ninja.
Nope, was ineffective. But I think that ninja's on healing duty right now anyways, isn't even worried about
Okay, well, it targeted the ninja at least, I saw. So, I mean, either way. Alright, fire 2. Yep, we're on drink strats with that ninja. Keep the knight alive. Ink, ineffective, free round. Thank you. Goes for the cheeky brack. Does not land. 8 hits, was that 562?
8 for 562. But if that ink happened, you know, it means he's got technically 3 nuclears in a row now. But doesn't matter.
Pulls it in. Alrighty. Demon finishes in 9th place with an official SRL time, 2 hours, 7 seconds. And let's go ahead and pull Demon in. Demon, GG.
GG, everybody.
I have to say, you were the only one on stream, and I loved the play. You were at a point where you kind of knew, I have to do sea or sky, like everybody else figured out eventually. You were the only one to find that sandworm tile, and you decided to sit on it.
Yeah, I had put 2 and 2 together, and I'm like, it's an incentive sky or incentive sea, and I'm not going there at level 12. We want at least 15 across the board, so I sat on the sandworms for a little bit just to try to get enough levels under me to survive it, and it paid off because I didn't have any problems going through sea or sky.
You were the only one on stream, like I said, that did that. Everybody else was going at, level 8, level 9, level 10. You went there mid to upper teens. Kind of was your grind the reason you chose Sky over Sea? Because everybody else chose Sea, and we know that ended up being the tail. You knew that Sky was where it was at. What kind of bumped you into trying to do Sky instead?
I was undecided. I was undecided between the two right up until I made a little switch of my idea and started sailing back the other direction right as I started passing the southern end of the Cardia Isles. I just knew I had to get levels going into either of those places, so I docked over at Dwarves, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go check the trap tile in Topher. If it's junk, I'm going to reset and go do some really slow grinding on airs. And I got to 15, and I went, okay, the chest density for the shards as well is better in Sky, so we're going to hit that first. Plus, with the incredible run, I can do Mirage 1, 2, warp out, save, go back up, and I won't hit an encounter until Sky 2 or Sky 3.
Yeah, and we know that Mirage and Sky was absolutely loaded. It had your Vorpal, 2 ribbons, a ton of jewels. It gave you that Bane Sword right before it would be really useful on Tiamat. Like I said, that part of your play was excellent. Taking that time to get the levels and to just be able to blow right through both Sky and Sea. We had the Iron Gall pack there at the cube trap tile that you could sit on and really kind of get those end game levels going. It's just really unfortunate you got through Tia 2 with your two, your ninja and your knight, and then Chaos just decided that slow 2 is going to land.
I wasn't even intending to clear Topher. I'm like, it's 30 to 300. We're going to take the cheeky Topher dive just in case. And I was kind of metagaming because I had IRC up and I saw DPS did finish. And I'm like, okay, there must be, the Topher must not be super nasty if we're getting through in 125. So I don't have to worry about everybody rolling the upper end. And thankfully, other than Carrie rolling, 0 HP and maximum possible physical damage, and Kraken 2 being faster than my ninja with almost max evade. Oh, and triple nuclear chaos too.
Yeah, we were kind of wondering that as people were coming up, because Dengwu pulled a war mech, played with that for a while, didn't see anything nasty. Lich went up and down, no problem. We saw one nuke on carry. Okay, so we have one nuke out of the pool. Kraken was a tickle fight. Fire 3 was the worst. We're like, oh, this is not looking good. And yeah, Chaos ended up with slow 2, a nuke, and 3 nuclears.
Yeah, the Topher wasn't too bad. It's just that, like I said, I was trying to be really cheeky about it. I went in with no spell charges on my knight or my ninja. I didn't go back and buy Cure 4. I was just diving to see what it was like, and I ended up getting all the way down and losing pretty much as much time as I could have.
All right, well, GG guys. That was a heck of a seed to kind of start us off for our week 3 shard hunt. I'm going to throw it to Rob Draven. Was our first place on-stream runner. Kind of give us your final thoughts on this seed and kind of the flags in the tournament so far.
Well, overall, I want to step in and say Dengwu did beat me by 40 seconds, so there's that. But really, actually, I really like this flag set. I like the shard hunts just because it really kind of helps you. You got to know where to go. It helps. You got to show your routing, and you're not. Some of these runs are down to sheer luck, but this one is more of, do I dig the right places quickly enough, and knowing about chest density. Overall, the tournament's been a lot of fun. I mean, my team's been in last place almost consistently, but like I think I can speak for the rest of my team when I say that we're all having a lot of fun, and so. If you like Final Fantasy Randomizer, come join the Discord. We've got an amazing group of people. It's just awesome. So, yeah.
Yep. We have the link for the Discord and the website if you want to spin up your own randomized ROM in chat right now. I'm going to throw it to Demon. Kind of final thoughts on the seed, the flags, tournament, the whole 9 yards.
Echoing Rob Raven, my team may not be doing the best. I think we are actually pulling up the rear, but we're all having fun, and that's what's important. It's not about winning and losing. It does make a little bit of a difference. It is fun to win, but it's fun just to play and just to have fun. And, these flags, I love Shard Hunt. The co-op tournament before this, Shard Floor Entrance, was probably the favorite of variant of Randomizer I've ever played. But it's just so much fun, and it was a great seed to start off. It wasn't too nasty, but it wasn't too free either. And it's just been a great time all around. I'm good GG to all my opponents, and thanks to everybody, Restream, comms, trackers, and everybody. And yeah, definitely anybody who's interested, jump in. I've been playing this now for less than 6 months, and it's just awesome to get in here and just see how quickly even all the other newer players I started with as well are coming together.
Yeah, we have I had to say, we have a great new runner program. We call them the Ducklings. They have their own rooms. They have their own seeds. They have teachers. We get you taught up pretty good here at Final Fantasy Randomizer. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this up and give RPG Limit Break their channel back. So thanks to them for letting us steal the channel for a little bit. We got Dark Moon EX being our re-streamer. We got Shadowed Flames was our tracker. we had someone else. I thought we had two. I'm sorry if I'm missing you. I apologize. Jay Scheidel. Sorry, Jay Scheidel was backing up. Was co-tracking. I am Demon Frog, and I will let Sir Link-a-Lot take us home.
All right, yeah, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for our 4 runners for putting on a good show. It was a fun one to watch to start us off on week 3, and we still got 3 more races with these flags this week. So definitely stay tuned. You don't want to miss them.